Hi everybody, this is Chef Ian Vair, and you're watching The Healthy Chef. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We have a fabulous show ahead of us. Stay tuned. So, what are we cooking today? It's been about a month since our last episode, and I was thinking long and hard about some of the most popular recipes that are out there, some of my own favorite dishes that I could bring into the studio and give away to our local audience. And you know what? The meal that I eat most consistently is my brunch, my breakfast, whether it be brunch or lunch or a meal that's somewhat similar to that. And I like to eat as healthy as I can. So one of my favorite meals that I eat is salmon. Whether I'm eating salmon in the evening, whether I'm eating it for lunch or breakfast, a brunch, I work with it a lot. And my favorite recipe for salmon, now I've made blackened salmon before, but this is a smoky, smoked, salt-cured salmon. Yum. You know, when I go out to restaurants for breakfast or brunch, if something like this comes up on the recipe, up on the menu, you know, I frequently order it. It's delicious. So today we're going to have a smoked salmon, a homemade smoked salt-cured salmon on top of toast points with goat cheese, yum, sliced tomatoes, fresh herbs, and I'm going to make some sunny-side-up eggs. We'll see. We'll see when we get the eggs. Either sunny-side-up or we're going to do them over easy. We'll see how we decide when we get to taking a look at these eggs. These are beautiful eggs. Farmer's market procured, locally procured from a local farmer. They're all kinds of different colors. Even the yolks are bright orange. So a lot of healthy, local, yummy food today. So let's see where we need to start. So the salmon is what's going to take the longest, okay? And not just the length of this episode, but to be honest, at least a day or so, in my opinion, is the best time for the salmon, okay? Now we're going to be salt curing this, okay? It's not going to go into a smoker or outside in my large smoker, but I'm actually going to be using some liquid smoke. And that's something that anyone can find at their local grocery store, okay? Any type of restaurant distributor will have, you know, liquid smoke. So the first thing that I'm going to put down is this liquid smoke, and then we go into the salt, and then we go into more flavors, okay? So let's get this salmon. And I'm not working with farm-raised salmon, but we have wild sockeye salmon, all right, much higher in nutrients, okay? Let's grab this here. Okay. Sanitation important. I have a new, different cutting board. Now, this salmon I find in the seafood department at the local grocery store. It is frozen. You can find it so that it's not frozen. It's totally fine. Okay, it's going to be orange. Okay, really, really nice color there. Make sure you wash your hands. Sockeye salmon. Now, how do we cure this? You know, for centuries, potentially millennium, this has been cured with salt. What happens with the salt is it lowers the water's activity in the flesh, in the muscle of the fish. And what happens is that highly slows down the ability for microorganisms, okay, to be happy, to grow, okay? So that's going to inhibit or potentially even completely eliminate all microbial growth just from salt. It's pretty cool. Now it is alkaline, okay? It's both acidic and basic, but the bacteria do not like these conditions. All right? So don't worry about, oh, he's just salting it, he's not doing anything else. Well, you know, this is a safe practice, and it's been used for a long time. No, I don't heavily salt mine. Okay? I don't have it so salty that it's, you know, yuck. But it's fair, you know, it's kind of in the middle. And what we're going to do as a precaution, and I like the flavor of this as well, is I'm going to sear it, okay? And I went like this quick because it's going to be about 30 seconds in that pan, all right? Not long. And it's going to taste nice, and it's going to 110% assure us that everything has been eliminated that's going to cause us any kind of distress, okay? So this is being safe. This is using the best ingredients. This is, you know, taking something to a whole nother level of flavor, all right? So let's take a look at this salmon again. Nice, wild sockeye salmon. I like about 4 or 5 ounces, and I'm going to do a couple pieces here so we can see, okay? A nice sharp knife on a little bit of an angle, down firmly, boom. And I'm going to leave the skin on. Now this is fairly expensive. This is about, you know, anywhere from $12 to $15 a pound. They take the scales off for you. So check that, but they should definitely be off. This is just a piece of the skin, all right? So let's do a couple of those. Nice sharp knife, okay? And then from there, I have some saran wrap, okay? Doesn't matter what brand. Okay, I'm going to get a nice piece here, probably 18 inches long that I pulled it out. All right, I'm going to lay 1 piece down. I'm going to lay 2 pieces down. I'm going to remove this salmon from the cutting board. Okay, let's take a look at this here. So, what's going to go first? Let's take a look. Is our liquid smoke. Okay, I don't know, a 1/4 teaspoon? Not much on each fillet of fish. Okay, now next, I have sea salt. You can use whatever kind of salt you want. Use pink Himalayan pink salt, Himalayan. I think it's sea salt. I make myself laugh a little bit here on camera. Pink Himalayan salt, or you can use what I'm using. Just plain old sea salt, all right? Not much, enough to fully cover it, okay? Just get it nice and covered. I want some black pepper. Can't have salt without pepper, in my opinion. I'm French trained. We like flavors. Give it some flavor. Okay, so far it's been the liquid smoke, the sea salt, the black pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, all right? Even less garlic powder than we did the pepper. Okay, the most salt, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, and I also brought some fresh herbs, but honestly, I'm going to save them for the end. Now, you can use fresh herbs on this. I like to use dill personally, but it's hard to keep fresh herbs all the time, but if you have dried dill, you can keep that in your cupboard, so anytime you want to make this, it's available. Okay? So, yummy. Okay, now we're going to seal this up. Push as much air out of it as we can. Okay, fold this up. Fold it up. Fold it up. Okay, push these so everything's nice and, doesn't have to be perfect, but as close together as you can. Push out as much air as you can. Okay, and that'll be just fine. Now this is going to go into the refrigerator at least overnight, okay? The longer the better. Don't leave it in there for weeks, okay? I've had some that's a week or so, and by a few weeks, I didn't want to eat it. So, you know, because I'm not so heavily salting this, you know, it's really good when it's within a week to 10 days is about where I'm going to put it. But we're going to cook this anyway. So it doesn't really matter, okay? Keep it short, overnight. That's what I like to do. Now, let's take a look at this again. Okay, let's look down here. Same type of arrangement. Same type of arrangement. But this has been overnight, okay? All right. It smells wonderful. Okay. It's a little more firm. All right. Just the smell of it makes me hungry. Yum. So at this point, I'm going to be sauteing it. Okay. Now the reason I did this first in the recipe is because it's what we would need to prep first the day before. Now when you're making this at home, you can do a few things at once. You can maybe even get your toast points going while you're cooking this. As a chef, I like to multitask and do a few things at once. So that's totally kosher if you do that. Okay. So this is heating up. We're almost there. We want our pan to be nice and hot. I'm using avocado oil today, not olive oil. Not that olive oil is bad, it's excellent. But it has a lower smoking point. And you'll smoke up your kitchen, you'll break down the nutrients, it's not as efficient. Avocado oil is excellent for you. Not exactly the same as olive oil, but excellent. And the best cooking oil, in my opinion. Okay, so we have a nice hot pan. Not much oil. When this goes in the pan, you should hear a sizzle, okay? And then turn it down to about medium. Skin down first. Turn it down a little bit. 30 seconds. 30 seconds on this, each side at the most, okay? And it's going to be rare in the middle, right? For real. But, you know, bacterial growth, most of that's on the outside anyway, and everything's cured anyway. So this is just as much of a precautionary measure as it is for enhancing the flavor, all right? Now, the skin can be a little, you know, smooth. You could use other words, but it crisps it up when we get it in the pan. It gives it a really nice texture, okay? It's like that crispy crust on your casserole or on whatever meat you're cooking, okay? All right, we're going to flip it. We've got a little bit of caramelization in here. Excellent. Salmon's wonderful for you. It actually, you know, it has a lot of B vitamins in it. It's great for brain function. It is excellent for your joints. It's excellent for heart health. Okay, we should all be eating more seafood. Absolutely, it's so good for us. It's recommended, I believe, to eat at least 3 portions a week. I try to eat at least 5 if I can. That's just me, and you know, I like the taste of it. So when you can put together a nice recipe and you like the taste of it and it's healthy, you know, let's be a healthy chef. Okay, that's it, you guys. That's it. Now, okay, I like this about like here. We're going to get our toast, our bread, toasted. And this is a nice farmer's loaf. And I picked out the loaf from a local baker that had the least amount of ingredients in it. Okay, I wanted things to be as processed as little as possible. Okay, because the more we process, it's been processed. Our body's not able to process it, and doesn't slow down that digestive, you know, process, and doesn't have as much fiber in it. Okay, it's not as good for us. So we use the energy quicker. Okay, we store it more readily, and it's not as healthy. So a good farmer's bread, or a good, any kind of the strong, you know, more whole wheat bread, less ingredients, good stuff. So that's the type of bread we have today. And I have my broiler on. You can use your toaster. I like to use a broiler. And I'm going to cut it at an angle. Now this type of bread you can use for sandwiches, you can use for toast. I even make like a French toast with it. All right, you can make good croutons for salad with it. But I'm going to cut this at an angle, and I'm using a serrated knife. Okay, if we see this here, serrated knife. We're going to use it for tomatoes also. Okay, and how about we get a couple of these on here? Okay, Yummy. Okay, these are going to go under the broiler. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget. 2 minutes at the most. All right, so I got to keep good track of that. I will be cooking eggs soon. We have our pan on. It's on about medium. It's slowly heating up. When the eggs go in, they're going to kind of go in the same as the salmon with a and I'm going to turn it down a little bit. But we're not quite there yet. All right. So, our farmer's bread is toasting. Today I brought goat cheese. It's also called Montrachette. It's very similar to a cream cheese. The cream cheese would be a little less expensive at the grocery store. Similar flavor, not quite as smooth as a Montrachette goat cheese. Okay, you know, dollar-wise, and I'll talk about this at the end. We did pretty good today. You know, as far as costing to what you would spend on it if somebody else made it for you at a restaurant, we did really well. But you know, if you wanted this recipe to be a little even less expensive, go with cream cheese. It's still excellent. Okay. We also have some very nice tomatoes. I was able to get organic tomatoes today. Can't always. I go for the best ones that I can. These are vine-ripe tomatoes. We're going to slice those up to go in on top with the salmon. I brought dill, and it looked really nice. I also brought basil. I brought some rosemary, and rosemary is one I wanted to talk about because it's a very strong flavor, so I only recommend something like rosemary on rosemary and garlic roasted potatoes, or like lamb chops, or something with a strong flavor. So I'm not going to use that today, but I brought it just to talk about it. We might go with a little dill and a little basil. Okay, let's look at the toast. It's getting there. It's getting there. I also brought some garlic, which I'm not going to work with today. But if we didn't want to go with the goat cheese, or we didn't want to use butter, I'm not using butter today. We don't need to with the goat cheese. But if you wanted something slightly different, you could chop up some garlic, sweat that, so a low temperature in your favorite oil. Olive oil would work well. And use that to sort of put on that kind of paste, oil, you know, paste-ish, onto your toast. All right, still waiting on the toast. So let's look at one of these nice tomatoes. I'm going to pick the one out that has some give to it. It even smells sweet. I'm not going to use the very bottom, but I'm going to slice them about 1/8 of an inch apart. Excellent. Okay, this looks beautiful. All right. Can we see these on the board? How do we look in there? Okay. I need, yes. All right, so this Montrachette goat cheese is going to go right on top of our toast here. And remember, I said you can also use cream cheese. Slightly more cost effective, not necessarily better in taste. Yum. All right. Okay, next let's put down a few tomatoes. These sliced tomatoes here. I like the salmon right on top. And what I'm going to do, sort of slice this. Right on top here. Okay. Same thing. We're going to have these right here. Okay. Now I have the basil. I'm going to take a couple of basil leaves. This is called a chiffonade. It's just a close chop. Okay? And this is going to get, I'm going to put that right on top there. Nice. Okay? And for some garnish, got a nice piece of basil. Boom. Okay? That's pretty. Let's finish this up with some eggs. Let's see how hot this pan is. These eggs, they're beautiful. These are from the local farmer's market. I get eggs from the farmer's market every week. And, you know, there's many different vendors that are there. And their chickens run around their yards or their farms, and you know, they're completely free range and organic and local, and I mean, the money that's generated goes, you know, for bills for our community. So, just an example of things like bread from a local baker and eggs from a local farmer, okay, or a local family. Any kind of vegetables that we can procure. And some of these were procured at the market. I couldn't get all of it, okay, to put a beautiful recipe together. But that doesn't mean that we can't, on a weekly basis, you know, participate in some other arenas to platforms that have the types of products that we use, okay? So these eggs, this one's, well, it's kind of blue. It looks white from here, but here's a darker one. Okay, yeah, they're kind of cool. Sometimes I'll get one that's almost purple. All right, so here's the hard part on the air. Can I crack the egg in the pan without breaking the yolk? Not easy. Not easy. Let's see if we can do it. And these are cool yolks. They're like orange. Okay, boom. Oh, we got the first one. Okay, all right, I'm doing all right. Okay, let's get this next guy here. All right. Boom, boom. Oh, yes. Those are some beautiful eggs. Okay, beautiful eggs. Now, a little bit of salt, and I'm going to use the pink Himalayan sea salt here. All right, I'm going to get some of that on there. Okay, cool. A little black pepper. That's fun. And what the hell? We didn't use any. Let's use some dill. What the heck? Let's put a little dill into it. We didn't really use any dill other than on that smoked salmon, the dried dill. So I'm just gonna, just for a little more fun flavor, just throw it in there. Okay. And I have other stuff here. If I wanted to put some garlic or something like that in there, I could. Now with the eggs, I like my heat on about medium. Okay. Medium high, you know, I want it to go in with a sizzle so they stay together, but I don't want to burn them. And I want them to be solid enough so that when I go and give them a flip, they're not going to fall apart on me, okay? So what else? Okay, this meal, okay, and you'll see it at the very end when everything, because it's almost plated up here. One portion, it cost me $7. That's pretty good. If I was going out to a restaurant, a $7 meal, that maybe, if I was lucky, that'd be on the kids' menu. Okay? Buying this at the grocery store is going to cost you just what I costed out, at least double. Okay? That's still a lot. All right? With this, we know we're using the best ingredients. We know where it's coming from. Okay? We know we're supporting as much local as we can, and we're being artistic in our own kitchens. That's awesome. All right, let's flip this egg. All right, can you do it? All right, see if you can flip it. Don't break anything. Oh, I might have broke it. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't break it. See, that's the fun part of cooking. I'm a mushroom forager also, so I got to be a fun guy. All right. Okay, almost finished here. What else? Let's see. What we did was we had about 35 grams of fat, and a lot of that was good fat. It was all, mostly from the salmon and the eggs, a little bit from the goat cheese, or if you use cream cheese. Okay. Carbs, 32 grams. That's around the same as the fat, and they're good carbs, a lot of complex carbs, which break down slowly. That's good energy, everybody. That's good for our bodies. Okay. Protein-wise, home run. Okay. About 50 grams. That's a lot. All right, so this can be a meal for 2 people if all these nutrients are too much. All right, this can be a meal for, and when I say 2 people, I say, cut it in half if you want. It could be 2 people because it's so good you want to, just double it or triple it or quadruple it. These recipes, they're healthy. Okay, they're easy to duplicate. They're local. Okay, they're fun. Not hard stuff. Healthy. Delicious. All right? Keep watching The Healthy Chef, because I will be continuing to teach everyone, as many as we can, about delicious, healthy, abundant, local food that we all need to incorporate. In my opinion, I suggest that we all incorporate into our lives as much as we can, at least if nothing else, for fun. Okay, let's take a look at this egg. Oh, she's nice. Okay, let's put them on the plate. Oh, come on out of there. Whoa. Okay, let's see. What's the best view going to be of this here? Where we were? Let's get a nice, okay. So we have our smoky seared salmon over toast points with goat cheese, sliced tomato, chiffonade, basil, and then we have over easy farmer's market eggs, with a little bit of dill. We could finish this many different ways, but we saw that this was a fun recipe, a delicious meal, and very healthy for our bodies. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for watching today. Please continue to watch. Please continue to stay tuned for each episode, because they all will be different and similar. I appreciate so much everyone for being here and being patient with me, and hopefully we learned something and you will take this into your own homes and enjoy on your own time. My name is Chef Ian Vair, and you're watching The Healthy Chef.